Most people who struggle with money are not bad at earning it. They are bad at deciding where it goes before it disappears. Research consistently shows that unplanned spending, not income, is the primary reason budgets fail in the first month. The fix is not a stricter mindset. It is a system that closes the gap before the month even starts. That system is called zero-based budgeting, and the core idea is simple. Every dollar you earn gets assigned a specific job before you spend a single one. Income minus expenses equals zero, not because you have nothing left, but because every dollar has already been told exactly where to go. So the question this episode answers is, how do you actually build that system from scratch, even if you have never followed a budget before? Zero-based budgeting is a system where you plan out exactly where every dollar of your income will go before the month even begins. The goal is to end up with $0 left unassigned. Not $0 in your bank account, but $0 without a purpose. Here is how it works. You start with your total monthly income. Then you subtract expenses one by one: rent, groceries, transportation, savings, debt payments, and everything else you spend money on. You keep going until that number reaches zero. Every dollar gets a category, and every category gets a specific amount. If you earn $3,000 a month, you make a plan for all $3,000. Some goes to bills, some to food, some to savings, and some to things you enjoy. Nothing is left floating around without a destination. That is the key difference from just winging it. When money has no assignment, it tends to quietly disappear on things you never actually planned for. The reason zero-based budgeting actually works comes down to something behavioral economists call mental accounting. That is the tendency to treat money differently, depending on where it came from or where you mentally put it. When your paycheck arrives and you have no plan for it, your brain treats the whole thing as one big pool of available spending. Every purchase feels easy to justify because the money just feels like it is there. But when you assign a specific job to every dollar before the month starts, you create distinct mental categories: rent, groceries, savings, and each one feels separate and protected. Spending from your grocery fund starts to feel different from spending from your fun money fund, even though it is all the same dollars. That distinction is not a trick. It is your brain doing exactly what it is wired to do, and you are finally working with that tendency instead of against it. There is also something called present bias at play, which is our habit of overvaluing what feels good right now and undervaluing future goals. Pre-deciding where your money goes removes that in the moment tug of war. The decision is already made. You are not negotiating with yourself at the point of purchase. You are just following a plan you already agreed to. That shift from reacting to deciding in advance is where most of the power actually lives. Here is how to set up your first zero-based budget, starting with the 3 steps you can complete today. Step 1 is to find your real monthly income. Write down every source of money coming in this month: your paycheck, any side work, anything reliable. If your income changes month to month, use the lowest amount you brought in over the last 3 months. That number is your starting point, and your budget cannot be larger than it. Step 2 is to list every fixed expense you already know about. These are the bills that hit at the same time and same amount each month: rent, insurance, loan payments, subscriptions. Write the name, the date it pulls, and the exact amount. Do not estimate these. Look them up if you need to. Step 3 is to list your variable necessities. These are things like groceries, gas, and utilities costs that are real and regular but shift a little each month. For each one, check what you actually spent over the last 2 or 3 months. Then pick a fair average as your planned amount. By the end of these 3 steps, you have your income at the top and your known expenses underneath. That gap between them is where the rest of your budget gets built, which is exactly what we cover next. Now here's the rule that holds the whole system together. Your budget must reach zero before the month begins. Not zero in your bank account, zero on paper. Every dollar of income gets assigned to a category until there is nothing left to assign. If you have $50 sitting without a job, give it 1. Put it towards savings, debt, or next month's buffer. Unassigned money is exactly where the leaks start. This is not about spending less, it is about deciding first. When you make that decision before the month starts, you're not reacting to spending, you're directing it. One thing that trips people up early on is irregular expenses. Things like car maintenance or annual subscriptions. They do not show up every month, but they are still predictable. The fix is a sinking fund, and that is a full topic on its own. Episode 5 of this series walks through sinking funds step by step, so keep that one bookmarked. For now, the core is simple. Income minus every assigned category equals 0. Build that habit first, and the rest of the system clicks into place around it. Here is a simple illustration to show the difference this system can make. Meet Maya and Jordan. Same job, same take-home pay, $3,200 a month. Neither one has debt problems or unusual expenses. The only difference is how they handle their money before the month starts. Maya uses zero-based budgeting. She assigns every dollar a job on the first of the month. Rent gets $1,100, groceries get $400, transportation gets $200, savings get $300, entertainment gets $150. Every remaining dollar goes somewhere with a purpose. Jordan skips that step. He pays his fixed bills, spends on food and gas as needed, and figures the rest will sort itself out. His intentions are good, his income is identical. By month end, Maya has hit her savings target and has $40 left over. Jordan checks his account and finds $27, no savings added, and no clear answer for where the difference went. That gap, roughly $273, did not disappear because Jordan spent more on anything obvious. It leaked out in small unplanned moments, a dinner here, a subscription there, because no decision was ever made about those dollars in advance. This is an illustrative example, not a real study, but the pattern it reflects is exactly what zero-based budgeting is designed to prevent. Even a solid budget can unravel in predictable ways, so knowing the failure points in advance puts you ahead of most people. The first is forgetting irregular expenses. Things like car registration, annual subscriptions, or holiday gifts do not show up every month, so it is easy to leave them out. The fix is to list those expenses, divide them by 12, and build that monthly slice into your budget from the start. The second is treating the budget as finished once you write it. Life shifts mid-month, and the zero-based budget requires you to adjust when it does. If an unexpected expense comes in, you move money from another category rather than ignoring the gap. The budget stays balanced because you keep working it, not because you said it once. The third is building in no room for fun. When every flexible dollar goes to serious categories, small temptations feel like rebellions, and people abandon the whole system. Instead, give yourself a named spending category for personal enjoyment, even a modest one. When that money is already accounted for, spending it feels like following the plan, which is exactly what it is. Spot any of these habits early and you can correct them before they cost you a full month of progress. One question that comes up a lot is whether zero-based budgeting actually works if money is tight. The honest answer is yes, but it requires a shift in how you think about it. When income is low, the budget does not create more money. What it does is show you exactly where every dollar is going so you can make deliberate choices instead of reactive ones. That clarity matters most when there is no room for error. The real challenge is irregular income. If your pay changes month to month, build your budget around your lowest expected income for that month, not your average. Any extra that comes in gets assigned a job once it arrives. Now for the real downside, because it exists. Zero-based budgeting takes time, especially at first. Sitting down before the month starts, accounting for every dollar, adjusting when life changes, that is a genuine commitment. People who skip that monthly reset are the ones who find the system stops working. The good news is that the time investment gets smaller as the habit builds. Most people who stick with it for 3 months find the whole process takes under 30 minutes. The system is not magic, it is just a decision made in advance, repeated consistently. That repetition is where the real progress happens. Zero-based budgeting is the most hands-on system we cover in this series. It asks the most of you up front, and in return, it gives you the clearest picture of where your money is going. If the envelope method feels too rigid, or the 20-30 rule feels too loose, zero-based is often the middle ground that actually sticks. Your action for this week is simple. Before the month starts, write down your expected income, then list every dollar you plan to spend or save until that number hits zero. You do not need an app. A notes app or a piece of paper works fine. The goal is just to make the decision in advance before the spending happens. Next up in the series is episode 4, the Pay Yourself First method and how to automate your savings before your budget even begins. If this breakdown helped you, subscribing to Financial Smarts means you will see every new episode in this series as it comes out. The next one is worth it.